Performance Testing for Beginners, Part 3. Now let us see what is requirement gathering and its importance in performance testing. Before we start any of our performance testing activities, we need to have detailed information about the application. In order to get the maximum details about the application, each company has their own requirement gathering template, which consists of set of questions either maintained in an Excel sheet or a Word document. These documents will be shared with one or multiple stakeholders such as client or project manager or the business analyst. This is mainly done when we have an entirely new application to performance test. As you could see on the screen, I have drafted some of the questions that we can ask the client or include in our document that we are going to share with them. What is the application type? What is the communication type used between the client and the server? What is the user load pattern? Are there any firewall restrictions? Any preference of performance testing tool? Paid or open source? What are the key business scenarios? Are there any data dependencies? In case, if we already have a legacy system in place, we can request for the application logs or statistics of Google Analytics to know the exact peak load of the system, and we can do the workload model accordingly. However, we would still need some of the basic information from the stakeholders. Performance testing approach. Once we have all the required information through non-functional requirement gathering, we would then start drafting our test approach. This is a mandatory document on which we need the sign-off from the client or the project manager before we start with our actual testing activities. The test approach basically consists of details like application architecture, what are we testing, basically the in-scope items that we consider to include into our load tests. What are the out-of-scope items? In case if there are any, we would be providing them the exact reasons why we have marked them as out-of-scope items. How are we testing? In this section, we would be mentioning the tool that we will be using for injecting the load onto the application, whether it is a paid or open source tool. How much load are we testing with? And testing timelines. There are 5 quality aspects which we should always take care of. They are functionality, usability, reliability, performance, and supportability. Similarly, we have 3 performance quality attributes, namely performance, effectiveness, and scalability. Performance testing quality aspect. Here by performance I mean for online transactions we would be considering response time in seconds. For batch transactions we would be considering runtime either in minutes or hours, and throughput, which is nothing but items per second. Here by effectiveness I mean CPU, which is measured in real users and system time, memory usage measured in megabytes, disk usage measured by input and output, network load by package size or package count, bandwidth and latency. Here in this screen, by scalability I mean for online transactions, it is the large number of users, scale in and scale out. For batch transactions, we consider large transactional volumes and large database volumes.